What if the very thing you're trying to escape is the thing that's meant to shape you? Every breakthrough in history, every genius, every visionary, every quiet warrior has faced a moment so painful it almost broke them. Not almost, it did break them. And yet, that's where everything began. Because before clarity, there's always chaos. Before peace, there's always pressure. And before greatness, there's pain. The kind of pain that whispers, maybe you're not cut out for this. But what if that whisper is not a warning? What if it's an initiation? Imagine a young athlete skating in the rain, broken leg, told he'll never play again, but that's not how his story ends. A writer, rejected 39 times before her book changes the world. A scientist, laughed out of his own lab before discovering what would save millions. A painter, who couldn't sell a single piece until one canvas changed everything. And you, watching this right now, standing on the edge of giving up, not realizing that your next chapter might just be the one the world's been waiting for. Because pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. Story 1. The Collapse of the Dream. When Michael Phelps was 15, he failed spectacularly. His first Olympics. No medals, no spotlight, no glory. He trained his entire childhood for that moment, and the world barely noticed him. That night, he sat alone in silence. Not a hero, not a record breaker, just a kid who had failed on the biggest stage of his life. But what happened next, what his coach said to him, would ignite something no one saw coming. Open loop number 1. What did his coach say? We'll come back. Story 2. The Rejection File. J.K. Rowling was a single mother, broke, and living on welfare. She carried her manuscript for Harry Potter in a worn-out bag, walking into publisher after publisher. Each door closed. Each letter read the same. Not interesting enough, not marketable. 12 rejections turned into 20, then 30. She almost stopped submitting. But one small publisher, one single intern, actually, pulled the manuscript from the discard pile. Open loop number 2. What made that intern pick it up? Hold that thought. Because sometimes your no's are just unseen yeses, waiting for timing to align. Story 3. The Breakdown Before the Light. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the company he created. Public humiliation, lost identity. He said it felt like being punched in the gut by life itself. He disappeared for months. He traveled, he sketched, he questioned everything. And then, from that silence, he built Next. He built Pixar. And years later, Apple bought Next, bringing him back home. Only this time, wiser, sharper, human. Open loop number 3. What did Jobs learn in those silent months? We'll return to this. Story 4. The Pain of Invisibility. Vincent van Gogh sold one painting in his lifetime. One. He died believing he was a failure. Yet his pain, his obsession with color, emotion, imperfection, would later redefine art itself. Sometimes the world doesn't see your worth because it's not ready for it yet. Your job isn't to be understood. It's to be undeniable. Story 5. The Athlete's Fall. A young sprinter, Sha'Carri Richardson, was banned from the Olympics. Her dream shattered. The internet turned her pain into headlines. But what most people missed was the silence that followed, where she rebuilt herself. She came back faster, stronger. Not because the world forgave her, but because she forgave herself. That's what breakthrough feels like. Not the applause, but the redemption. Loop number 1. What the coach said, Phelps. After that Olympic failure, Phelps's coach leaned in and said, "Good. Now you know what it feels like to lose. Let's never feel that again." That single sentence reframed pain into purpose. It became his fire. 28 Olympic medals later, that moment was still his foundation. Sometimes the worst moment of your life becomes your most disciplined teacher. Open loop number 2. The intern's choice. Rowling. That intern, she said, "It made me feel like a child again. Not perfect writing, not market logic, just emotion." And that's the secret. People remember how you make them feel, not what you make them see. Your authenticity is your leverage. Open loop number 3. Jobs' revelation. During his exile, Jobs said, "It's only after you lose everything that you're free to do anything." He realized the prison wasn't Apple, it was ego. And from that humility came design, simplicity, genius. He didn't rebuild the company, he rebuilt himself. Final payoff, core message. Every story shared one invisible thread. The pain wasn't the obstacle, it was the door. Each collapse was a disguised invitation to grow, to surrender, to rebuild something truer. Pain strips away illusion. It exposes what's essential: discipline, patience, humility, faith. The world tells you to avoid pain, but those who embrace it, they evolve. Because on the other side of pain is identity. On the other side of failure is wisdom. And on the other side of loss is freedom. Practical blueprint. If you're in your pain right now, remember this. There are 5 things to hold on to. Your blueprint for the breakthrough. Pause, don't panic. Pain distorts perspective. Wait for clarity before reacting. Ask, what is this teaching me? Every pain has an embedded lesson. Detach from outcome. Growth doesn't always look like success. Use small rituals. Movement, writing, breathing, keep your energy flowing. Build faith through evidence. Look back. You've survived worse before. You don't need to believe it'll get better. You just need to act as if it will. That's enough to move mountains. Emotional closing. So the next time life burns you down, remember, you're not being destroyed. You're being refined. Gold is purified through fire. Diamonds are born through pressure. And legends are forged through pain. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're just in the part of your story where the hero hasn't realized. They already are one. Keep going, because the pain before the breakthrough is proof that the breakthrough is coming.